You forgot the water. I don't know. I mean, I think if you eat a steak and you forget the water, maybe you're banned from the channel. Right? I mean, wouldn't that make sense? Like, what kind of community are we running here? Okay, I want to start doing resizing on widgets because I want to do, so we kind of have resizing on this already. However, um, so firstly, it doesn't change the cursor, right? Which we want to do. So we want to have feedback on that. Maybe I'll do that first, and then we can start working on being able to like drag resize this window down here. And then we could make, there's some widgets we don't have. So like right now, like this kind of situation where you do these. Ah, interesting. So here this reorders them. I was actually maybe not going to do that. I was maybe going to, because you sort of, like if I want to make this one bigger, oh wait, what? Okay, never mind. That's fine. So I guess if you make it bigger, it just slides everything else to the right. Interesting. I need to wipe off my screen. Which, because this is a terrible operating system, is going to cause touch events to fly everywhere. Why is resizing smoother than any operating system you've ever used? Because those operating systems are all doing tremendous amounts of work in order to resize. Whereas we're just resizing the fucking rectangle. Like, how hard is it to change the size of a rectangle? It's not very hard, actually. I mean, you only need to have a PhD in computer science to change the size of a rectangle, right? So, okay, I actually want to be able to change the cursor, which means if we're going to do this a good way, we need to actually, let me make sure I'm up to date as well, because other people may have been editing things. Oh, they were. Oh, okay. Good thing, because I was going to add stuff to the changelog. Mm. That's good. Okay. So what we're going to do here is in widgets can now change the cursor based on what is happening. This is accomplished by calling. So we have these functions in the, well, we have the type indicator, right? But then we also have the draw procs. And this is going to be a procedure in draw procs. So set pointer image. I don't know. And we're going to assume that other people are always going to be drawing the mouse pointer. Like what? Okay, so hold on. How does this work in Windows? Like when oh yeah, it just lets the cursor go where it's going, and then the window catches up later. Yeah, that's fine. Well, it didn't catch up there. There was a bug where it didn't go all the way. See there, it didn't go all the way either. Like the corner's supposed to go to the middle, but it doesn't even. Look at that! What the fuck kind of operating system is this? Is that under my camera, or can you see that? It's like totally off. Like, how many summer interns work at Microsoft? I mean, I don't blame them because I'm sure this stuff is all horrendously complicated and horrible, and there's basically no way to make it correct. I blame them for it being complicated and horrible with no way to make it correct, but, you know. All right. It's unacceptable that the OS is in this condition. Well, count your blessings because we are past peak OS reliability, so it's only going to get worse from here. So you'll remember the days when it kind of mostly tracked the cursor most of the time as the good old days. Casey tried to boot a Raspberry Pi and found it was impossible without lockdown binary blobs. I mean, what do you expect? I don't know much about Raspberry Pi. So let me guess. He was going to boot the Raspberry Pi in order to do Advent of Code on it, but he never got to the Advent of Code part. Is that what happened? I mean, that is kind of amusing if that's what happened. Yeah, okay, well. All right, so in draw procs, unlike everything else in draw procs, if you do not if you leave set pointer image null at init time. Rect will replace it with an OS specific version that sets the hardware cursor. Okay, so set pointer image. This is going to be image is a pointer image. That's going to be some enum, and we're actually going to tell you what widget. Okay. Oh, and that's like this. Okay, so draw procs. Okay. Okay, and then what is cursor image? Wait, where did it go? What? Set pointer image, right? I was like, I already got the name wrong. All right, so what do I do? Do I make a new file for this? No. I will put let's put it there. Okay, so dang it, I keep calling it cursor, it's pointer. Pointer image. It wasn't auto-completing for some reason. Okay, so so we need pointer image is going to be an enum. I don't know, with a bunch of stuff. This stuff is going to be normal. I don't know. Locked. Normal arrow for pointing at stuff or whatever. Locked is no action can currently be performed. Dragging horizontal, dragging vertical, dragging free, and dragging proportional. Proportional. Okay. Okay. That's kind of all that we need for now. Oh, like in active, right? Like, I don't know. Like sometimes it's like if you go over, yeah, like this hand is like active. We'll call that like pressable or something. Let's make that 1. Should have thought of this ahead of time. Okay. Okay. We're just going to make sure we could still compile and run the example. Can't. Oh, because we didn't make this. Get rect set pointer image. Okay. Dang it, Bobby. Bobby! Oh, I put a body on a type. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So in Windows, this is called set cursor. Should we just call it cursor instead of pointer? What? It's xset cursor, isn't it? Oh, xset pointer. Oh, but they both call it cursor. All right, we're going to change this to cursor. Dang it. Maybe we should change that from pointer, but we'll think about that some other time. Okay. A cursor is a different thing. Well, not really. No. The definition of cursor is, pre-computers, I don't know what it is, but it's like, tells you what the active position is. And that's what this, it's a different cursor. It's just, Does anyone call it it isn't active in that same sense? But it is, because like that's where events go when you press buttons and stuff. I don't know. I don't know, man. You know what? We're going to call it pointer. Fuck it. Fuck it. See, this is the very serious programming problems that we have. Whoops. Whoops. It's just system. Okay. Now that that is settled, let's actually do a thing. Okay. So now we want to call set cursor. Okay, literally. Okay. We need the list of built-in Windows cursors. This is just tell me the default cursors. That's all I fucking want to know. I have to figure this out like every 5 years. You know, I'm sure we have set cursor in Sokoban. Maybe not. Dang it. Are you kidding me? Okay. Someone calling it in modules? We don't seem to have the Windows API call, so we will have to add it. Okay. This isn't loading, showing all the what do you mean it's showing cursors? Oh, these ones. Okay. Talk to the hand. Okay, so these are H cursors. What a bunch of poop. All right, so we're going to say all right, and then we're going to say cursor is IDC arrow. Emacs is fighting me, as it always does. Okay, so hand, IDC, no. Size WE. And then for the, we'll just do size all for the corner, I don't know. And then proportional, we'll do the diagonal thing, even though, I don't know. Okay. So init cursors has to do all this bull crap to load these cursors, even though, like, that's really dumb. We just have to do it. All right. Init cursors. Okay. Let's just... Okay, now this is not even... So those are the wrong thing anyway, right? Like, those are the things that I have to frickin' load and make some fucking bullshit variable for each one, right? Okay. So really, really I have to do this. Fucking stupid, because every program ever written has to do this. If you ever make an API where every single program that ever has to use the API has to do one exact thing, and there's no other thing that they would do, change the API. Just like let me use these as parameters to set cursor. It would make a lot more sense. Okay. Like, what? I have to pass the H instance, right? This is so lame. Like, why? Why am I typing this? Why am I typing this? Could the wait cursor be useful? I mean, it could be useful, but we're not worried about it right now. We're just, there's many other cursors that might be useful, including adding some custom ones, but we're not even going to use all of these that I'm putting in right now. Okay. Now these Now this is where I'm sad, because I unbound my Emacs lowercase. Just type it. Gee, Emacs is so great because it's discoverable. You know what I really could have done? Instead of making a ton of variables, I could have just made an array, right? I mean, yeah, with multi-cursor, I just never, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Whoops. Okay, and then all of this. I keep saying cursor. What? What? Dude, see, I changed this and then now I'm so confused all the time. All right. Um, there we go. So this is much smaller. Um, did we Windows? So we haven't actually defined set pointer yet, sagely. Okay, so this is a little bit better. It's a little briefer. This is H cursor though. That's not going to work. Okay. And this is, oh God. Okay. Okay. Now what? What are we talking about? All right. Set cursor is going to be I assume that's in user 32 as well. Do we have H cursor? Yeah. All right. Set cursor. Okay, now the problem is here we are missing something. I forgot what it was, but I know there's one more thing I have to do. Oh yeah, more than one thing. This, I was just going to define this to be num pointers. Um, And then what? I forgot something. Oh, we don't have the instance here. Windows get application current page instance. Get module handle. Oh. Set pointer is not a member. Wait, what? Oh, because it's set cursor. What? I'm so confused. Okay. Dang it. All right. H cursor not defined. Get module handle not defined. Oh, because Windows dot. Windows dot. Get module handle is not even in there. Are you kidding me? Get module handle. Oh, it's handle A. Handle A. Arrow. Okay. Oh, use the wrong words here. Dude, laptops are so bad. If my thumb even taps the trackpad, it pops up this menu, and then there's no way to get rid of the menu with the keyboard that I know of. Okay, now it's not happening. I was going to see if escape would do it. I don't know. So frustrating. Why do people make computers so bad? Okay. Load cursor. You just get module handle W. Might as well. Actually, we should undeprecate. So the deal is in Windows 11, all the A functions are UTF-8. Right? And so we actually want to undeprecate these. Because it used to be these are bullshit and you shouldn't use them, but so I swear they did that, right? Does anyone know where I find the thing about this? How about if we just I swear there was a thing where Windows 11, all these would just work, right? If the ANSI code page is configured for UTF-8, well, that's crap. Then we can't use it, right? It's still useless because I can't call an A function if I don't know how the user program will have configured the ANSI code page. Why does Microsoft fucking suck at everything? Why are they so bad? Why are they so bad? All right, well, we're going to leave them deprecated for now. Maybe someday we will undeprecate them. For now, they remain deprecated because Microsoft is bad at programming. Load cursor. Really? Oh, because we have set cursor. Oh, because it's load cursor A and load cursor W. IDC arrow. Oh my gosh, we don't have these. This is going to be fun. Oh no, making resource. Is that just a... It's just cast to a pointer to string. Okay. Let's just put all these. Okay. 32514. I feel like I'm watching Star Trek. What is going on? I can't type. Make, there was mmake last time. Make int resource. It should just show me the first match. Like if this was an actual modern editor, it would do that. And not an editor written by people who eat their toe lint. All right. I mean, who doesn't like a little toe lint once in a while? You know what I'm saying? I understand. Whoops. Okay. Why is it so hard to do something so trivial? This should be one function call. I mean, you are correct. Defining the constants is kind of fine. Like, these are constants that should exist, I guess. It's a reasonable way to do it. Why are they void pointers? I don't know. But, you know, it's because their API call takes a string for some... Yeah. Decisions that I would not make were I designing it. All right. Forgot my semicolon. Redeclaration of talk to the hand. Oh, I had a couple. Undeclared identifier IDC. Oh, because it's Windows dots. Maybe I should have just used Windows, but it's just very messy to do that. Let's do this. Okay, so after all that, it's now no different because we are never setting the cursor, but what we could do now is we could set it when it's over these or when we're dragging, I guess, right? Because if we're dragging, then yeah. Okay, let's just start. Let's just start by if you're over. So now how does it, again, so in Windows, it's the same cursor. See, this is actually bad design in the modern day. Like you kind of want one cursor when you're over and then another to show that it's active or for it to get, you know, more interesting or something. But for now, For now, we will leave it what it is. Okay. Modern people design such crap. People 30 years from now will have no clue what is going on. I mean, that's true, right? Like, I should count my blessings that I only have to call 2 functions to select the cursor, right? I have to load the cursor. Well, 3 because I have to get the current instance. But like, dude. You are right that this is nothing compared to some more recent Microsoft APIs that I've seen. I mean, the worst API that I ever used was Direct Show, where, for example, like I was making a game that just wanted to read from the webcam and like read an image every frame from the webcam, right? And the smallest Direct Show program I could make to do that, I think I open sourced it at the time, but I think it was like 1,400 lines. And that's not because it was like low level, like Vulkan or whatever. It was a complete crap high level API, but you still had to do 1,400 lines of work to say, give me the webcam image. It was insane. Okay. So now, what is this thing called? We organized all the widgets. Slidable region. Okay. And I'm just going to set the cursor every frame for now. And if that's bad, people can sue me. No, they can't because this software is not warranted for any purpose. Okay, so in the theme, it says if it's horizontal, right? Theme orientation is horizontal. Oh, this is just pointer image. Active pointer equals dot, what did we call it? Dragging horizontal, dragging vertical. Okay, so now so where do we decide that we start dragging? Okay, there's already going to be I feel like the way that I'm doing this is a little bit wrong, guys. I mean, it's fine. Most of the work that we've done is fine. But the way I was envisioning it, and okay, we'll just do the dumb thing here. But the problem that I have is the following. I was just going to say, like, hey, have the widget set the cursor, maybe if you're inside the widget or something, right? But now, if you decide not to draw the widget next frame because it just closed or something, there won't really be anybody to reset the cursor back to the normal one. So I think what we really want to do is have widgets individually set the cursor. We could record every frame if somebody, that could be a dumb, super dumb thing to do. Record every frame if somebody set the cursor And if nobody did, then we set it to the arrow. Probably, I don't know. Can I recall what those 1,400 lines were actually doing? So direct show was one of these APIs where we all know that writing functions with sequential statements in them is not cool. What is cool is creating a bunch of virtual audio components and connecting them with wires, right? But not graphically, in code, right? So you had to instantiate these various pieces of these components and stuff. And then you had to connect them by wires. And that's how you say, this is how I route through the wires my webcam image to my display bitmap, all right? Now, that sounds horrible enough, but because this was written by the summer intern, like the components weren't done. Like you couldn't, like their sample program was like 8,000 lines because you couldn't actually connect the components together without subclassing them and implementing a massive amount of stuff in the subclass. And so their example program was just full of like all this shit that should have been in the actual API, right? But it was like in the sample program. So what I did was I just took that sample program and I just cut it down as far as I could, because of course it wasn't just doing direct show, right? It was like their whole, here's a Microsoft application framework that reads input and opens some files and gets data and does direct show. And it's like, that's their sample program, right? It was insane. It was completely insane. It was the worst API that I've ever used. I cannot believe they shipped it with a straight face. You have a speaker class and a wire class and a volume knob class. It's not even that simple. Okay, so you've got to remember everything is way super abstracted, right? So what do? I want to get an image from a webcam. Well, there isn't such a thing as a webcam, all right? What you have to do is you have to get the direct show object. You have to call enum sprocket providers or whatever the hell, right? And then for each provider, you go enum active things, and that tells you like what all the direct show instance things are, one of which might be the webcam that you're looking for, right? And you have to like figure that out. Like it's insane, dude. It's exactly like that. You have to wire up patches. I'm sure it's horrible then. Okay. So I'm just going to change it for now when dragging. We're just going to go if state.dragging get rect set pointer image active cursor, right? Otherwise it's going to be dot normal active pointer. Gosh, I'm so confused. Okay, so oh, see, we're setting the cursor every frame. And this turns out to be very bad. Microsoft does not want us to do this. Sag. All right, we're going to have to figure that out. But well, we're getting like nothing, which maybe means we didn't load it correctly. Oh, maybe it's fucked up not because we're setting it every frame, but because none of our cursors loaded correctly. Right? And then it's changing it to arrow when I move the cursor. Yeah, see, this is me not moving the cursor. Okay, so our things didn't load. Like, we're trying to do the simplest thing in the universe, and they've made it difficult. Okay, so it's possible that I've misunderstood something. Null, no, null, null, null. We got null for all these. Okay, why did we get null for all of these? At least we're calling the function. I mean, that looks like a reasonable module handle, I guess, right? Okay, so now we have to get last error or something. Load cursor W. Like, why pretend that we have to load these cursors? Like, they just exist, guys. Oh, actually, this could be null, right? Because it says optional. Did I define the... I guess this was defined before. This should not be pointer to U8. That's incorrect. It's S16. I mean, it shouldn't matter. We have get last error, right? Lol, lol, lol. Now, because I fixed the type. Wait. Yeah, we're just calling load cursor W here. Oh, but we're passing null. So maybe we'll just do that. Maybe we won't get the current thing. Actually, that should work anyway. Yeah, all right. So we didn't, let's just do this for a second. Hey, okay, don't pass the module handle. Okay, so there we keep setting it but then it keeps setting back for some reason. You can barely see it blink once in a while. Oh, there it's more. Oh, right, because I didn't. Yeah. We only want to set it if we're over the rectangle. Actually, no, let's do the. Okay. Let's do this thing, because this is going to be a big mess otherwise. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the widget. What was it called? Slidable region. We're just going to say if state.dragging. We're going to set the pointer image. Here we're going to say pointer image set this frame false. Already reset pointer image false. Okay, so here we're going to go. Let's say was. I said was. Okay, so if we do this, we're going to do that, and if so if you set it to normal, we don't care. Okay, so we're going to go pointer end frame. If the pointer image was not set, this frame, if we didn't already reset the pointer image, then we do this, and we're going to go, oh, fudge. All right. Bleh. Because this also sets these things, so it's a little bit. Dot normal null. Okay, so then already reset pointer image equals true, and okay, why did I retype? The reason I pasted that down there was so I wouldn't have to retype it. Okay, so pointer image was set this frame, it's false. Something like that. Okay, so now UI per frame update. What is it called? What do we do at the end of the frame? I don't remember. draw one frame. Wait, we don't have an end. I don't have an end frame right now. Maybe we'll put that at that top of get rectangle event. I think that's fine. Maybe. Wait. Ugh. See, I'm trying to keep the API as simple as possible and not put a bunch of crap that you have to do all the time. Oh, you know, I guess we put this in... There's got to be... Okay, hold on. Who calls the... Right, so you don't call swap buffers from getrect, right? Because you just do getrect and you could do some other stuff and you call it from your own thing. So we don't really have that. And we don't right now have a way to know what frame it is at all, even. Okay. What do I do? Like, the obvious thing to do is add an end frame function, but I don't want to. We do have draw pop-ups. What if people don't ever call draw pop-ups? Okay. Hey, look, I'm dragging it. Okay, never mind that we get way out of sync. Let's ignore that for now. Because we bump up the thing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's better to have it not drag down until you get there. It seems weird. I don't know. You need to think about what's preferable. Okay. So now the thing is it doesn't do it till I start dragging. And what we really want is for it to do it when I'm over the tangler. All right. And that'll be Okay, so we could go like that. I think that's it. So we're getting like some flicker. I'm not sure why. But also, it's like going. So there's got to be, there's like a one frame transition. Or maybe I just screwed up drew this frame. What do we do on scroll bars these days? We just leave it on arrow. I don't understand the widget choices that people make. Okay, so the flickering is annoying, but we do have cursor set ability. Now I'm gonna have to do all this crap for X11 as well, which makes me sad. We're gonna at least stub it in and make it compile, and then I'll actually figure it out later. Okay, so that's a reminder to me. I put stuff here that's like short-term to-dos that are done in the short term. Okay. Well, why is it flickering? Is it based on position? Because that, oh no, that flickered. Wait, no, it's like when I move, is that Windows doing that? Or what? let's see. So it only reset it once among all that. Huh. It's not me. What? Actually, let's just make sure that we're not somehow calling that. Well, I mean, we are calling it all the time, though, so it doesn't help. So I'm just going to mask these for vertical drag. How do I handle WM set cursor? Oh God, really? What? Why? Why would they do that to people? I hate this. Why would they do that to people? Oh, whoops, it's this one. Yeah, so that's not us. That's just Windows is switching it back due to cursor motion. Like what? How to handle WM set cursor. Like, this is making it impossible to fucking factor a program, right? Because I don't want to have to, like, look, whatever you use to handle window messages, I want you to be able to use, right? And whatever you use to handle to do your UI, I want you to be able to use that. I don't want to have to know what your window message proc is. You need to call set cursor every time you get that message. Why doesn't def window proc do it? Def window proc uses this message to set the cursor in an arrow to an arrow if it is not in the client area, or to the registered class. Oh my God, what a, okay. Actually though, so that is kind of doing what we were saying we wanted to do, which is if nobody's setting the cursor, set it to the default. The thing is, this is a giant poop right here. Like, whoever actually wants this behavior? So maybe just don't use def window proc. No, you don't understand. You don't understand how bad this is. We're not talking about my program. We're talking about code that we are trying to give to people that is cleanly factored, and like, I don't have a window proc. I don't care about the window proc, right? I'm using a general window proc that we supply that people are supposed to use without thinking about it. And then the more bull crap we have to put in there, like doing weird things in response to this kind of thing, the more people are going to be surprised by weird behavior, or it's going to do the wrong thing, or whatever, right? This is terrible design, and I can forgive them for it because they probably did it in like 1988, but the fact that they haven't fixed this stuff is really aggravating. Even though they've changed the Windows UI like 17 times, they haven't fixed these things. If the member is null, an application must explicitly set the cursor shape whenever the mouse moves into the application's window. That's just as bad. That's just as bad because it's tying together these two things that we don't really want anything to do with. Okay, I don't know what to do here. Let's think about it. Like already, if you switch that pointer on the window class to null, you're going to have a higher latency in cursor switchover when people go into the window or not, right? Because it's going to rely on your program handling that message, and we don't know when that will ever happen. So it's a little bit better to leave it the way it is in that dimension. But if that'll stop it from changing the cursor whenever the thing moves around, yeah, like this is horrible. I don't know what to do about this. I have no option but to handle that message. I know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this without creating garbage that every programmer who ever uses this system will have to deal with, right? Like, that is what I'm... Yeah, of course I can do whatever the fuck I want to make this problem go away. I'm trying not to propagate the toxic waste, and I'm not sure what is the best way to do that. It seems very difficult. This is why, by the way, that it's kind of unethical to do things like this, or to, not clean them up, because it's not really possible to cover them up. Like, I'm going to have to expose some additional complexity to the user in order to do this, and that sucks, and I shouldn't have to. But there you have it. So I didn't bring my X11 Linux laptop with me, which is, in retrospect, a little bit sad because it means while I'm traveling the whole time, I won't be able to do that. So I should have. But it would inform the decision to figure out what I have to do on X11 as well. Because then I would at least know what to do, and I don't actually know. Standard thing that libraries do is set the cursor variable in the library set cursor function, then set the actual cursor in the WinProc. We do not do the WinProc. We don't know who creates your window. We don't want to know. We don't want to care. We just draw into your window. So we have no idea about your window proc. Literally none. And we shouldn't have to. But now we kind of have to, right? So that's where the mess comes from. X11 is easier for actual setting. You just call the function once. Well, that seems better. But getting the cursor atoms is annoying. Yeah, I mean, X11 is like a giant fiesta of atom getting, so you kind of expect that. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably bedtime for me soon anyway. But like this bums me out. Like I'm trying to do a good job and I'm trying to make something clean, and this is just going to be kind of a mess. And I don't understand how to do a good job here. I mean, I could have there be like a runtime parameter in the window creation module, right? Because remember we had this thing where sneakily like window creation talks to the input module. We sort of did that last time. Window creation can have a thing that says call this to like enable or disable intercepting the set cursor in a certain way. Now the thing that I'm worried about that is like what I'm going to sit here and program is just exactly what GetRect wants, right? And like, is that usable to other people in other contexts? I don't know, right? But there'll be a variable, it'll be called something else, but it'll be like, do what GetRect wants, right? I mean, we could just call it, I don't know. A hack would be to hook into the app Windows WinProc in my own WinProc that can handle WM set cursor transparently to the user. That sounds like something we don't really want to get into. If you mean like calling get window proc, I guess maybe you can do that and then shove one on the front. The problem is, A, that's complicated because I have to do it for every window that's open. B, now if the user program wants to change their window proc all the time, now they have to like tell me, or I have to get their window proc every frame and see if it's the same one that like I already had, and what are the performance implications of that? It's just like, it doesn't sound good, right? And maybe they expect, like maybe they're surprised by that behavior anyway, right? Maybe like intercepting this message when they start using getRect is confusing and annoying. But then again, I guess maybe a similar thing would happen. No, yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to make surprises for people. Maybe they're calling get window proc to do some logic and then their program breaks. What if users are using something like GLFW where they don't even have a wind proc? Well, they would. They have a wind proc. I actually don't know how GLFW looks like, right? They have a window proc no matter what. It's just like, do they know about it? Document that they should call that from WM set cursor. But the thing is, that doesn't work because we don't want people to have a window proc. Like, okay, what we are providing here is a cross-platform way of making programs, and our job is to make that work as well as possible. So, like, there's no window proc, right? Because that's a Windows-specific thing. So, in this example program, for example, we start it up. We have a main. The main does some setup. It loops. It does some event stuff, right? And then in draw one frame, we draw a frame. And, well, it's quite involved because there's a lot of widgets. That's it. There's no window proc, right? Like there is one, like I just said about GLFW, there is one, but it's hidden way away in this window creation library that we are using. And the input module is here. We say like probably simp update window does the input, right? Oh no, here, update window events. So we don't ever author a window proc. We don't want people to have to because that'll lock them into Windows. Right? We don't want you to have to know anything about Bill Gates' Windows in order to write a program. And this is making that harder, right? Can I just ignore the Windows way of doing things, just getting the mouse X and Y positions? Look, okay, here's the problem. If we assume that everybody is running exactly this quote-unquote stack, right, we can author it to work together. We can do whatever we want, right? Sure. I don't want to do that, right? I want to let people swap out some other window creation library, right, and some other input library. So no, like I can't, I can't really hard code things to know about each other and to work together well, right? Now, the problem is in order to run correctly on Windows, that information has to be transferred in some way between things. And so we're going to have to add something, right? But at least then, if we add this to the the window creation library, for example, or maybe it's in the input libraries where the WinProc is. It's probably in the input library. I don't freaking know. When we do that, because we will put that option in, at least anybody who ever like makes their own version and uses this for a model or knows that that's a thing that some people want to do. Like that's the best we can do, I think. Can you find the address in memory somehow? That is not even a thing. So let's first figure out where it is. Yeah, my window proc. Okay, here's the Windows window proc. Okay, step one, let's at least make it work. Right? Is there a set cursor in here? No. Okay, let's make it work for us. And then we would have the option. Wait, is it? If the parent window returns true, further processing is halted. I don't know what further processing is halted means. Whatever. Let me just see what this does. Oh, I've still got my print statements in there. All right. So it does not appear to be flickering anymore, which is good news. Okay. So, you know, that is a very small piece of code that we just added. Now, the reason why I'm worried is because I don't want surprises for the user, right? All right, let me remove these prints. So, like, I don't just want to have this code in here, because now this is like weird toxic waste that will burn people later. So I need to somehow have a way to toggle that on or off, maybe. But then also, we need to have getRect request this. And it doesn't seem easy to know how to do that. I mean, we could add yet another function hook or whatever with some flags about how to do things. I guess. Yeah. See, even with this, like, there's not really a right answer, because for this program, we're just using getRect in this whole window, right? So we want this behavior for the whole window, but you can imagine some program that uses classic Windows widgets everywhere, whatever those are called, the MFCs or whatever, with one canvas somewhere, and it's running getRect like in that canvas. And then you want to ignore the window event or not based on where it is. So this would be wrong in that case, right? So yeah. Did we already say no to just exposing which cursor the library wants to use and the application code can check? Yes, we said no to that because holy crap. That's more complicated than this. I think. I don't see any way that simplifies anything. Yeah, module parameter. The problem with a module parameter is you can't really set it at runtime. And with this, there's not like a performance implication, right? So here we could do this. We can say if ignore set cursor messages, return 0, right? And we could put that I could call it Windows This is a Windows specific thing. Okay, so if we set this to false, we'll get flickering. And so now the question is, yeah, so we have flickering again, right? Whoops, I didn't get these. So now GetRect needs to tell people how, and so this is annoying because it's a very, very tweaky Windows thing, and you could imagine us adding 17 tweaky Windows things, and that puts a burden on like this kind of interfacing stuff. Like here, it's like, we do this, we have these, right? Like, do I add a function just for this that is only needed on Microsoft Windows? Like what? Like that's terrible, right? So I don't exactly know what to do here. Now that said, these functions only need to be dealt with by people who make alternative interfaces for this. So maybe it's not that bad. It just still kind of sucks because we're trying to be simple. Maybe provide a function pointer. No, this is going to be completely invisible to the user unless they want to change it. There's no, like, again, in the future, there are 17 million operating systems. We're not going to give you something extra that you have to think about just for some operating system you're not even running on, right? Like, it's just, this is where APIs start to go down the drain, right? Is in handling this kind of thing badly. Now, what we could do, though, really, I think the following thing. If you're using simp at all, you probably don't want this default Windows cursor behavior, right? Because that cursor behavior is designed for nested Windows widgets, right? And if you're using simp, you're kind of like drawing to the screen. So maybe this can just be in simp instead of the input module that it sets that, right? And that makes me less worried. I'm not sure if it's great. Now, I say simp does this by default, but I think we're now going to have to contemplate going and messing up simp now, right? Because, yeah, simp doesn't actually know anything about the input module. So actually simp doing this by default is not good either. I honestly don't know how to do this. I honestly do not know how to solve the problem. Yeah, see, we let you set the render API, but we literally do not talk to your window API. We do have the window type. Oh, Yeah, I mean, see, the reason why this programming language is going to be good to use is because I push so hard on these things. Well, that's one of the number of reasons, right? Because I push so hard on these things that other people would just like punt on. But I honestly don't know. I don't know the answer. It would make it work in the GLFW SDL case too. So the problem that I have now is I don't want the user to have to call something to set this variable explicitly at startup. Because why would they know anything about this, right? Problem, simp doesn't know about this. Simp doesn't do events. And it shouldn't. So I guess we're talking getRect again. So do I add a specific function Okay, the problem is, if I go back to getRect for a second, see, we can't really express this right now. If I go back to getRect, we have two configuration things. We have this type indicator, which is like, hey, here's your window creation module. We don't have the input module in here. We have, I thought we had event. Where is event? Maybe we just are getting event from, I don't actually know. Oh, we're importing input right now, actually, which maybe we shouldn't do. Okay, since we are, that makes it easier for now. Let us factor out input into type indicator. This means we will need to do some interface thing about event or something. This will also means we need to figure out what the fuck with what is this variable called? Let's make a function that people call set imGUI mode. Okay, so that's going to be a function on the input module. Now Windows Okay, so we're going to call set mgui mode because who knows? Like that's sort of a thing, right? Like mgui type of interfaces is just like a concept, right? So we're going to set the mode. I mean, honestly, you should probably just draw your own cursor anyway, but we're going to let you use the Windows cursors. Now we're going to put this scope module. Scope file. Okay. Simp does not do this by default. That was a lie. Okay, so for now we have this, and then later when we factor out the input module, we're going to have to figure out, how do you generalize this call? But for now, we're just going to do this. Okay. Okay, so UI init, we're just going to say set in GUI mode. And back here, this is defaulting to false. So that should be everything. So by default, you get the default behavior. But here we have no flickering. And I didn't put anything in the user program, but we do have this burden of one more function. But it's at least called set in GUI mode. And on many operating systems, it may not need to do anything. But on some, it may need to do other stuff besides what we did here. Okay. That's pretty okay so far. I'm okay with it. How closely related is the mouse pointer to the text cursor? Do you mean text cursor in here? This is just something we draw, right? Or do you mean like the Windows text cursor that like comes up here? That's the same mouse pointer, right? It's just a different thing. Okay. I was very annoyed, but I think it's going to work out at least kind of okay, question mark. And I think it's bedtime for me, but okay, here's the future roadmap on this. Now we have settable cursors. And next is going to be have a little resize corner down here that you could turn on or not, and that I could use to resize the window. I guess, is that the default Windows behavior now? What is? So they do sort of this thing. And they let you drag at the edge. I don't know if I want to let you drag all over the edge. It's like too much activity, right? It's like just have a thing down here and I'll drag it. Vertical, diagonal. Maybe this is too small and requires too much fine motor coordination, but yeah. And then maybe you just set in the theme, like the style for this window, whether you want it to resize proportionally or freely when I go in that one, right? So that'll be the plan. And then, is there anything else that we want sizing on? Not really. The reason I wanted it was because I was going to implement, this kind of deal right here. Why does it, what, this is so weird. I didn't even realize that was in there. Wow, what? Okay. Ugh. This is one of the most failed things in Windows ever, is like this nice description of file extensions. It's like, it's only annoying. If the bottom right corner is inaccessible, do I still want to allow resizing? Probably not. I think I would rather keep it simple right now. Now that said, I think at least in the style, there's going to be a bottom left corner option as well, because like the reason it's bottom right corner in English is because we're expanding to the right, so text flows to the right, right? Now, if you're in a right to left language, you probably want it down here, because it's probably annoying to do this and have the start of your, I don't actually know though. I don't know. So there, I think there's going to be over time a little bit more in the way of resizing options being added. It's just initially all I need right now is lower right corner, and so that's what we're going to do. But yeah, like if you move this over here, am I going to let you resize it? Probably not. I mean, we could have an option to resize at the edge, but like, Now the other thing is, in Windows, because it like knows everything about what you're doing, it has like this region. I'm outside the widget, but like, okay, this is annoying, actually. It's like, look, I'm outside this widget, but I've got this gap where like I could drag. But if there's something under it, I get the same cursor. Oh wait, no. That's weird, because it raised the window a second ago, but now it's doing the drag thing. I don't know what invisible rule is determining this, but anyway, okay. So there is a region around the window that it grabs it. So I guess we could say for sub window as well, like we can say here's the, if we were to do that resizing on the sides, we would say specify how much extra width you want, right? Interestingly, that distance is 0 on top, but it's pretty wide over here. Like this will resize, this won't. So that's very close. So they decided on the left and right, but not on the top. How about the bottom? Oh, the bottom, yeah. So everybody but the top gets extra slack. Okay. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. I'm happy, though. I'm happy that we have some resizing ability now. Did we say that? Which can now change the cursor based on this having is accomplished by calling. Never finish this comment. Get rect set pointer image. From within widgets, the slidable region widget sets the pointer image when over, I don't know what to call these things, when over an active slidable bar or when dragging it. Okay, let's put the module stuff together. All right, cool. I'm going to commit this. Let's make sure I didn't break nothing. There's a possibility that I did. We're being careful. Let's try the game. Hey, great. Okay. Uh-oh, we got to fail. Some Linux WMs have 1 to 3 pixel resizing areas and impossible to use mouse only, and yet having to use the hotkey. Oh, because it's too small to hit? Yeah, I mean, that's just seems bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was weird because the type of that function has just been wrong for a long time. Okay, did any other things fail? Oh, I fixed that bug today and I haven't rebuilt the, or not today, a couple days ago. And I guess I haven't rebuilt the compiler. So we got an old bug that should be fixed. And then we'll run it back. This is the thing, I wanted to go to bed 10 minutes ago, but we're finishing. You know what I'm saying? It's how you succeed in the games industry. Have I had any sloppy steaks to sat on the beach? I have not done either thing. Sadly, I don't have my videos here on the laptop, so we can't do that. But I have not even had non-sloppy steaks, and I have not gone to the beach because I was going to go today, but then I was like, oh, Sunday. Ah. Now I got bitten by the Emacs temporary files. Emacs poops all over your files, by the way. We should actually filter that out in the test program. Like we shouldn't, yeah. For now, I'll just delete it again because I want to go to bed, but these little Emacs poop files confuse the thing because it puts hashes in there. It thinks it's a module and it's like, I'll generate a test, and it ends badly. How much longer will I be in Florida? Yeah, I'll be long enough to go to the beach. The plan is I'm going to Europe at some point before the new year to go to a thing. And I just haven't made that flight. So I'll be in Florida and then I'll go to Europe. And when is undecided at this time, but I should figure it out soon. All right, so now we finally can check in. Oh, by the way, I freaking broke Linux if I check in right now. Oh, we can't go to bed yet. Can't go to bed yet. It's fine. Okay. Here, let's just check it in. No, not yet. Because I don't want to break Linux for anybody working on Linux, which is probably Raphael mainly. So here where we did this assert, let's not do this because now we know. Okay, we're just going to do a thing here, and we're going to do the same thing here where we do some x11 pointer stuff. Our init pointers, however, is going to not do anything. And I'm going to hope that this compiles. Okay. Now let's make sure that compiles here. Okay, cool. Dang it. Dude, I keep hosing my cut buffer. I just want to paste this. Okay, look at all those changes. Boom. Wait, what did I change in the parser? Oh, I just did some identifier search and replace it. I forgot about. Okay. Now, the Linux version, we just need to make sure. I can't even tell if it runs because I don't have access to any graphics here. Let's at least make sure it compiles. Yeah, we're gonna be on the 100th beta anniversary soon, which is 5 betas for every year I've been alive, which is crazy. You had no idea there was anything but Git. Wait till you hear about Perforce. All right. Modules get rect examples. Set in GUI mode. Oh, we didn't do that on modules input for the Linux. I didn't think about it. Okay. What? Oh, because right, it's on the wrong machine. This is not the best way to edit this. All right. Okay. Hey, all right, I can't really run this because we don't have a connection to a display from this machine. If there is some way to do that, I don't know how to do it, but it at least compiles. Let's make sure the tests. Run. Any special plans for V100? Not a syntax pass. Too soon for that. Maybe I put in the frickin' option about what to do with modules that come in. Like, build options for, like, you know, do you copy the modules out of wherever you get them from into a program local, right? So that you're not broken by changes to those modules, or like what? And at least we get that in there and see what happens. Maybe. We'll see. Had that secret killer. Yeah, secret killer feature. I actually forget. Wait. Secret killer feature from 8 months ago. I don't remember which one that was. We might have shipped that one, and maybe other people just don't think it's as cool. Secret killer feature from like 2 years ago. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. It's potentially very disruptive, and so like it's hard to think about and has a lot of ramifications. So I'm just kind of waiting on it till things are pretty good and stable. Like right now, macros are still like they're not as powerful as they should be, and they're a little too confusing and complicated, including in terms of implementation details. So I need to figure out how to do macros better. And once that happens, then we'll see. Okay, thanks everybody. It is bedtime for me. First time we streamed in a while, I guess, right? So that's cool. Wait, that's old. So thanks. I'll probably stream some more while traveling here, because why spend time at the beach and in the sun when I could be in a hotel room having a dangerous night? Good night, everybody. May your nights be as dangerous as mine. See you later.